What's happening, everybody? Bad Brad rolling down the street, rolling in the heat, hitting the grooves that get you moving your feet. Yes, I'm a poet and I don't even know it, right? Here's the deal, man. I'm out rolling, creating content, right? I've been working all day. I get a brief period out in this heat to go out and get a little exercise, right? Because we got a lot of stuff coming up on this channel. I've got to have the energy and the spirit to move on, right? To work on, to get up each day and inspire people, help people, man. And as I'm, trying to salvage this hair right here, it's a tragedy, right? It's tragic. But here's the deal, man. While I'm walking down the street right now, there's 269 people viewing my latest video, Rockstar Bullsh, right? And whenever this video that you're watching right now, whenever this goes out to the world, if it does, the members will get access to this when this goes out. They get early access, right? But, think about that, man. I'm out here, I'm pounding the pavement, and people are hearing a very important message, right? People are hearing a message that I wish somebody had given me when I was a kid. Nobody told me to, hey, pay attention to this. Show business is a tough business, right? And none of this stuff should have been a revelation, right? I should have known all of these lessons before. Hearing about Hollywood stars and dying in their sleep with the tablets next to their bed and all these things. Shining Star, the song by Bad Company, right? Telling you the story of a guitar player that was amazing and incredible. But it seemed like the audience loved him when he was high, but he was a shooting star. And one day they found him, dead, right? And that's an important message, man, that maybe we weren't tuned into, right? Because look, the jazz musicians that had their vices and succumbed to their vices and stuff, that was largely music that wasn't, people didn't really know a whole, unless you were a real musician, you maybe didn't know who Charlie Parker was and what became of his life and the trials and tribulations that he went through, right? And the reality is this, man, as we try to cross the street and not become a road pizza, right? The reality is this, nobody taught these lessons that I'm trying to teach on this platform, or platforms, because I'm expanding now. I'm expanding now to Instagram more, TikTok. I'm expanding to, other avenues, right? Because the reality is any one of them could go away at any point in time. And this is important stuff, man. I know that the old timers like me far outweigh the young people that watch this video. But I'm encouraged when I see somebody that tells me they're in their 20s and they're hearing my message and they're learning from it, right? Because look, I could take this channel and I could only do demo videos, right? Or I could only try to teach guitar. Or I could, teach how to play songs. Or here's how I play this. Or here's how I play that. Now look at these little ducks right here. Quack, quack, quack. But here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. What I'm doing now, with this channel, what I'm teaching people, right? What I'm telling them about the pitfalls of the business, right? And how tough the business is if you even do make it, right? But then you're having to constantly go out and do that job and perform. Now we hear about performers, and just recently, the singer for Foreigner, Kelly Hansen, who's not the original singer, but a guy who I had, from all clips that I had seen, had done a great job over the years, right? But the machine, the band Foreigner wants to keep the money coming in. Meanwhile, Mick, what's his last name? I can't think of his last name. Let me know in the comments. But the guitar player, he probably owns the name, and he probably wants to keep the money coming in, right? Because he's unable to perform anymore. He's got some condition that's taken over his body and everything. And so here you got a younger guy, younger singer, and he's been at it with them now for a long time. And he's stepping down, right? And it's been a gradual thing of him saying, look, you know, I've been doing this for a while. And you know, it's a grind, man. You know, my wife will go out and do a little short, you know, jaunt somewhere and do some business, and then come home and she'll be wiped out. And I'll say, hey, well, imagine if you did that 5 days in a row, a different city each night, and had a huge after party afterwards, and then had to perform each night. Imagine what that would do to your body. Now, you wisen up later in your life, and you don't party anymore. You're not drinking after the gig or doing other things. You can last a lot longer, right? But that physical toll of your body and constant movement, constantly moving. If you're on stage, you're moving, right? If you're on a bus, you're moving. If you're having to fly, you're moving. You're constantly in a different place, and many times a different time zone from where you started at. And that could be an hour time difference, or that could be 12 hours time difference, and you're all the way across the planet somewhere. And then coming back, so the jet lag of coming back from, say, Asia or Australia or somewhere like that, and dealing with that jet lag when you get back. I remember coming back from Asia, right? And it took me 2 weeks to get over the jet lag. I was literally like, could not get back on schedule. I was like literally at the point where I wanted to pull my hair out. I couldn't get back on track. I was all out of whack. And man, imagine if and here's the thing, we came back and I think we had 2 weeks off, right? I think I made enough money on that run that was fine as well. So I was able to rest. But when your body doesn't know whether it's day or it's night, and what you see outside is completely different, you know, look, these birds are going ape. These birds over here are going crazy. And that's kind of like what your brain's doing. Look at these guys. That's kind of what your brain's doing when you come back from a long jet lag trip. Your brain doesn't know whether it's coming or going. And that could be a brutally hard thing to deal with. You know, it's like, even if you're sober, even if you eat right, even if you work out every day. And look, the older stars, like a guy like Tim McGraw or something like that, who used to be a big time partier back in the day, right? But now, you know, you see that guy is a sign of extreme fitness, right? The guy is shredded. He's probably my age, maybe in the best shape of his life. And he knows his job is to go out there and look good and flex, you know, for the Jumbotron. And that's even if you do all that, it's still going to take a toll on your body, man. Still, you know, pouring your soul out. There's something about, you know, playing music, and especially if you're playing blues or something that's really gut-wrenching, you know, pulling pieces of your soul and casting them out into the audience, right? There's something about that drains you, right? And it's like you need to recharge. I can't imagine being a Stevie Ray Vaughan style player and playing that kind of schedule. It's no wonder, you know, 5-6 nights a week, it's no wonder that Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know, ended up in a bad place chemically. Because trying to be that gut-wrenching, emotionally charged, soul-ripping style player every night, every single night, pouring your heart out, man. After a while, dude, there's nothing left. I mean, I think I'd seen, let me know in the comments, isn't there a live album that they did? And there's a picture on the back of Stevie in a wheelchair where his playing had gotten to a point where, you know, he was in rough shape, man. He had partying too much and everything. And, man, that looks like a dead gator or something right there. Look at that, man. What in the heck is that? I don't know, man. Oh, there's a little baby gator right there. See if you can see that head sticking out of there. Little baby gator just chilling right there, dude. He's waiting for something to come by where he can go chomp. You got Sandhill cranes. This water is very low here. Very low, and I know there's going to be wind and everything obstructing the sound on this video, but man, it's just such a beautiful environment to see this sunshine and to have all this beauty to walk around, man. I'm lucky to be in a great place, man. Because I don't know, man. It was a relief for me when I finally got relieved of my duties of being on the road. It was a relief and probably saved my life, even though it was several years later before I stopped drinking. I didn't stop drinking like going to rehab and all that kind of stuff, but just stopped, man. You know, it wasn't, there was no need to do it. I didn't have any nerves. I wasn't playing any gigs where people would, come on, bro, drink a beer, have a beer, bro. Now look, we got Sandhill cranes right here. Hello, 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 hello. How about that, man? How about that? But here's the deal, man. Now, I'm here in Florida in this scorching heat. I'm trying to get a little sun because I'm going tomorrow. Just give you a little inside. Hopefully this video gets posted maybe before I do it, but if not, it'll be coming up on the channel. I'm going to go down to a really great guitar shop in the area. I'm gonna help them demo some guitars. Something different, right? I might not even, I don't know if I'll end up filming it for my channel or what. But the reality is this, man, it's getting out there, man. It's not a gig, but in a way it kind of is a gig, right? Because I'm getting out of the house, go play some guitars, and, you know, make some connections, man. Talk to some people, shake some hands, and get out of your comfort zone, right? So, man, to tie all this together, man, all of this, and yeah, while I miss playing some gigs and creating music and stuff like that, and I miss the roar of the crowd in a packed arena and all that, but all the other nonsense, all the other BS I could have really done without, man. And so I'm thankful to be here in this sunshine, soaking it up and spreading some positive messages on this channel, because man, these are things that people need to hear. And I thank every one of you for tuning in. Thanks for watching.